through this Carey Bay project and what we did here. This was a curtain job for us, and we put in some really good thought with the client of what their needs were, what they wanted to see, what they wanted to hide, and the function of the spaces that they were in. So whilst they were this is down at Lake Macquarie, so they are looking out at the lake most of the time from most of these windows. So privacy, not a big issue. So, but the sun was. So it was really important to have a sheer and a blockout combination, to have multiple ways to block the sun during the day and also still get some vision. So a really nice light sheer was chosen for the main areas that had the curtains, and then a blockout behind it that could close. Most of them were hand drawn, and we've got little bends everywhere just to help hide the lining behind or to come around the corners, as it was in most cases. This is a double track detail shot. When you're doing a bend, you've got to be aware of the radius that's created. So you need to create the same space between them to allow for the curtains not to touch, essentially, or just brush each other. When you're doing a bend, that gap is a lot bigger, so it actually creates, you need to be aware of that distance from the corner to the front when thinking about curtains and thinking about doubles, because it's about a 250 radius versus like from here to here is about a 150 if you're doing S-folds, and this is being very general for spacing. So you need to have to allow for that into when the curtain goes to the ground, what it's going to impede, if you're going to close in the space too much, all that sort of thing. So you just got to be aware of that. But it is a beautiful way to just continue rather than having two straight tracks. It means that the split is actually here in the curtain, and there's a door behind this one here, so that door actually opens there. So logically you open the curtain where the split is, obviously where the door is, so then you can just flick that open, and this one bends around the corner and stacks over a wall, which you can't see in that photo. We've also got these return to walls, which is what this is as well. So we call this a front track return to wall. It's got a 90-degree bend in it, and it means that, so the lining is here on the back track, so this is looking up at the ceiling, and the lining would be here at the back and the sheer at the front. In this case, the sheer actually stacks to the other end. So if it stopped here as a straight track and you came in from the side, you would actually see the lining and the sheer at the same time. So when you close the sheer, it actually hides the lining behind. It's a much nicer detail to walk down, say, a corridor, you're looking down the side of the curtains and you just see the sheer versus seeing the sheer and the lining. They've also got a theatre living space. This curtain here, beautiful crushed velvet curtain, is actually covering bifold doors out to the lakeside. So it had to be really effective. So that's those there. So what we have here is the curtain with the crushed velvet and a soft drape, triple weave, same thing. So soft drape or triple weave fabric used as a blockout lining. They are not coated like a normal lining, like a 100% blockout lining. They vary between different suppliers, but about 85 to 98% blockout. So effective enough, especially behind velvet as well. But because it's a triple weave, it's kind of like a spongy fabric. It's also a really good sound absorber. So add that with a velvet, it's a really good acoustic layer to go between the glass and the screen. So in this case, this bit here, this is actually the drop-down projector screen. So that comes down in front of the curtain, and then the lounges are actually behind that, where that photo's been taken from. So that's a really good, beautiful way, and it's hidden up in, they actually built a bulkhead for that to hide into as well. So you don't see the top and the headings and everything, which is really nice. Then you've also got the tiebacks. So when you've got a curtain that hangs straight down, tiebacks seem like they might be a bit old-fashioned, but they have a function and they can be beautiful. So you've got, this is a leather multi-string. It's just one tieback, and it's a beautiful finish. Because these are bifold doors, they open to the outside, but then if you just had a curtain hanging in it, like the wind, because it's a lake, if the wind was going, those doors were open, those curtains can get sucked out. And can just blow around and flap and be annoying. So if you want the full open to the outside, because that is on the ground level going out to the lake, it just holds them tight and holds them out of the way. and make sure they're secure and safe. So a nice function in that case. Upstairs we had the roller blind, so there was one bank, there was like 3 banks, so just a single double over here, and then a row of 4, and then I think this was a row of 3. And they're all motorized, so you can actually link motors. So these 2 blinds here are the block out and the screens are behind. So in a straight line you can actually link up to 3 on one motor, so you don't have to have a huge amount of motors if they're all in a straight line and touching. So in this case it would have been these 2 were actually linked, and these 2 were linked, and behind that the screens, these 2 and these 2. They could all go up and down together if you've got multi-channel remotes, so you can set that so they do, you can press all and everything goes up, or you can say channel 1 is all screens, so all screens go up, channel 2 is all blockouts, or you can break it down into whatever configuration that you want. So the more channels you have, the more options, but you can also get an app for that, and you can set them separately as well. So if you've linked them, it just means, say this one has a motor and this one has a link bracket, so this one just follows. The more you put on, the slower they go up, or you have to put a heavy motor on, so it's just something to consider as well, but also saves some money by only having 1 motor across 2 versus having, so you've got 4 blinds across there. You can have 2 motors, you could have 4 motors, you can only have 2, but you could, rather than having 4, you're only paying for 2 rather than 4. So it's just something we talk about on site as well, and it's just how you want it to function, and what the best options are for how you would live in the space and how you'd want them to operate. I have been back to this project as well since, and it's amazing how much that strip, because these blinds are offset, so this cyclone bar here, the blinds obviously can't go right up to the window because of that. So that little strip, so when those screen blinds are down, there's a little strip of timber showing, and that has faded like so much, which is amazing to see. But how effective they are, just a screen is of protecting the floor from the UV. So definitely something to think about. Main bedroom was some motorized curtains, so you got a sheer in front, and they were both motorized, and then have a bend in them as well, and then you've got the block out behind. The bathroom, this was just a beautiful wardrobe, just stunning design. The bathroom has a screen and a block out as well. The roller blind, the screen roller blind, is actually down in that photo, so you can see through it during the day. But anything you can see through during the day, that vision reverses at nighttime. So if you can see out at nighttime, someone can see in if the lights are on. So having the double means that they can put the other one down to get night privacy. So they get day privacy, so no one can actually see in through a screen during the day because it's lighter outside than it is inside. So that gives you day privacy, but yet reverses at nighttime. So often, especially in a bathroom situation, a dual layer. It's often why also in bedrooms you have a dual layer as well. So if you've got potential where someone could see, you put the dual in, so sheer and lining, or sheer and a drape if you do it the more traditional way as well. So a beautiful project and really nice clients to work with.